Hello and welcome to this Asana free version tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be providing an overview of the Asana dashboard, the user interface, project and task settings, how to invite team members for collaboration, and a walkthrough of the other features. Now, Asana is one of the popular project management software platforms available. It's built for businesses and personal use to help you keep your project organized, to help in tracking your project roadmaps. And all of these can be done in this interactive interface. So we're going to be going through these and more. Let's begin. The first thing we're going to be focusing on is creating an account and logging in. So when you go to the Asana website, you have the option to choose either using a Google account or use your email to sign up. Now, I will be using through my Google account because it's easier, and I will choose a Gmail account. And then the next step would be basically to follow through by selecting continue. And then you have the opportunity now to put your name and your profile picture. The picture can be set up later, but your name is very important to put. And then you get to select your primary role. Then you select some more personalization settings. Then you get to set up your first project. So you have to give your project a name and other details about your project you'd feel like putting in there. And then your main project phases. Projects have phases. In a case like this, as you can see, is the to do, the doing, and done. So maybe you have a project, you have a list of things to do, your to-do list, and then you have the things that you have started doing, and then you have the things that are done. So whether it's you or those of you who you're collaborating with, they have the option to place tasks in these different categories. And these categories can still be adjusted or renamed according to your liking. Now, the next is the project layout. The project has about 4 different layouts. You have the list, you have the Gantt, you have board, and you have calendar. We will explain more of this when we get into the Asana program itself, but I will be choosing the list. Then you can choose to invite teammates now in here, but I'll show you more ways to do that when you're done. So you could go to the next step. And now you're all set. And there is a free 30-day free trial that starts the moment you've registered. And you have this because there are other features that are paid, and you get to know the differences, and you get to choose the plan after this 30 days to decide which plan you would like to use. And now we have our main workspace. Now this workspace can be divided into 3 parts. We have the sidebar on the left, and we have the top bar at the top of the screen, and then we have the main workspace. Now the top bar has some buttons, has some input fields. You have the input field like the search, where you can click and search for anything. And then further down you have, or further to the right, you have your, for me, it says 28 days left in trial. So it lets you know how many days you have in trial or any other status regarding your subscription. You could add your billing information. And then here you have your status. So you could decide to go on a 1-hour break if you're not interested in receiving messages. You could set the duration. You could set if you do not want to be disturbed, and things like that. You could also pause notifications. So here helps you to manage your notifications. And here you also have your menu, your profile rather. Your profile is the menu for the profile, where you have your name. You also have your other settings for your profile. You could also add your account, or also have the option to log out of Asana. And now you also have the option still at the top bar to the left, you have the option to create. You have the option to create anything you want. You could create a task, a project, a message, or you can invite. Now remember earlier in the video we explained that We could invite teammates or collaborators. Now, this is one way to do it. So you just come to the create, and when you click on the create, you have the option to invite. So that's what that button does. And this button here, the hamburger menu, the three dashes, you could use this to hide the sidebar. So we could close the sidebar if we want in order to have some more real estate, or we could keep it open and consider the other things. So that's pretty much what we have on the top bar of our Asana workspace. And now we come to the sidebar. The sidebar really controls what you see in the main workspace, right? So you have the home. Currently it's in home, and you could get a view of the things that are in home. We'll get back to that. And now we have tasks, where we could click and see the tasks that we have. Remember the tasks that we created. So some of these tasks are still here. And we also have the inbox. So you just notice that the sidebar truly controls what you get to see in the main workspace. Here in the inbox, of course, you can send messages, view the messages that has been received from team members, a teammate or fellow colleagues or collaborator, and also view the messages that you have sent. Now, if we go back to home, we get to see some of the features or some of the settings that we can have on our main workspace. What are these settings? So, for example, you have the option to view your activity for the past month or for the past week, and it shows you what you've completed. It's going to show you your collaborators. Of course, it has the dates there and a greeting, a customary greeting, and it also has widgets. Now, it has widgets for you to play around with or work with that helps you to organize your workflow or your workspace. So if you notice, I could drag this over here, and there we have people. So once I get to home, I could see frequent collaborators, the people I work with, and also get to see my tasks. Or if I wanted to see the project first, I could drag it up and put back here. Now we have projects, tasks, and people. Is that all we can do here? Not really. So Asana helps you to customize your workspace, like an office. You'd like to have it in a color you would want, and have some features that you would like, just like arranging widgets on your phone. So you could have the widgets customized from here, or you could have it customized from here. So anywhere you click it, it's going to bring out a sidebar on the right. And from the sidebar on the right, I could change the background. So now we have a basic white background, and there are other colors here. I'm going to say pick the burgundy color, and I'm hoping it changes to a nice burgundy color. And there you have it. The background has been adjusted. And now we also have widgets. You could select from the widgets you have here. And just to explain some of them, we have the tasks that you've been assigned. So you could also see them here. You could also see your goals, your status updates. You could also have a private notepad. So if I wanted to drag in a private notepad, it says drag and drop. So I could either click on add, or I could drag and drop. So there you have it. Took a moment, but now I have a private notepad. And so we're going to have a look at our inbox. Remember, we have our inbox, and we explained a little bit about that. So here is the inbox once again. It explains, or it shows you rather, the messages you receive from your collaborators and things like that. And we wanted to talk a little bit about where else you could actually do the invite. You could come down here to the bottom of the sidebar, the left sidebar, and you could click on invite, and you could add the email addresses, add them to the project. We just have one project here, so we're adding them to this project. So if I wanted to add an email address, I could do that, and I will now click send, and that's going to add someone. It's going to send the person a mail. You have the option to invite team members here. So if we really think about it, there are three places: from the create option here, down here for the invite, and when we come to inbox, we could invite teammates and also collaborate with them. And down here, this is where you have your insights, such as portfolios. These are the paid version, so you wouldn't get to enjoy it in the free version. You get to see it when you've paid for it. And some of the features that Asana has made available in the trial version or in the free version for the trial period. But when the trial period is over, you're going to see less of these features. But under insights, you have reporting, you have portfolios, and you have goals. Now, if I wanted to star an item here, I could click right on it, and we have the option to star this project. So if I start this project, it comes right up here. And then I have it as my start. So you might have many projects and you have just the ones you really, some that are noteworthy, you could actually star them, and it's going to come under the start area. So if we were to continue with our project in the start area, we have the team A web creation as just an example. We have the to do, the doing, and the done. So these are all the different stages of the task or the project. And something also nice. What if in a situation where maybe this first task is we're going to commence the activities of this task, design, drafting, and projections? Well, we could think of putting it here as the things that are currently going or ongoing tasks. And one thing we could do is we could put it here as a task by, writing it down, or we could come over here and we're going to have the grabber tool. And when the grabber tool shows like so, you grab on it, left click, and bring it down. You have to bring it down to doing. You cannot put it here. It might not, it's not going to work. Doesn't work for me. So you have to put it here under doing, like just on top of it, and automatically it brings it here. So you see, that's another nice feature. So it's you're bringing the tasks that are to be done, you're bringing them down to doing, and you could also name it. So we're trying to name it from doing to say ongoing. So that's possible. Now after having that, we have to do, ongoing, and done. And something else I'd like to mention is the color coded signs we have in each of the stages of our work. For example, you have the status, and there are three by default. There are three. You have the status that the project is on track. It's at risk. Maybe it's getting close to the deadline. You have to show that. And if it's completely off track, you can actually put it there that this is completely off track. So these color coded designs help make the workflow to be more pleasant to the eyes and easy to understand. You could also do it with the priority. So if you're assigning tasks to collaborators or to teammates, you get to set the priority by clicking on it. You have a low priority, medium, and high priority. And if you want to change the write up, you also have the option to edit the options. But this is by default what you have here. And it really helps in making your projects manageable. It helps in making your project easy to consider when you're looking at a lot of information and you're just going to see, and you could actually help yourself in getting the sense of everything that's going on. So what else can we find in the work area or the workflow area? We have the dashboard, right? So if we click on the dashboard, it's going to give you a beautiful view of statistics about your current project. Remember, this is a Team A website creation project as an example. And we have completed tasks, we have incomplete tasks, we have overdue tasks, total tasks, and we have this beautiful graph and pie chart that helps us to make sense of how the project is going. So as a project manager, this is a beautiful view for you to just to see and have a look at just a glance how the project is going. Remember, we created 3 tasks and none of those tasks have been done, so there is no complete task. But if we, for example, go back to the list and we click on mark task complete, and now we have the task complete, we're going to go back to the dashboard and see if it reflects. And there you have it. We have one complete task. So wherever your teammates are, your collaborators are, whatever you're doing, once they make an update, they mark a task complete, you will get to see it in real time. So, and the graph, you can see the graph is also showing you details about these things that have been done. And it's a really beautiful dashboard. It is also possible to move things around, as you can see with the highlight of the cursor. So once the hand shows, you could grab it and move it from left to right. So I want to move tasks. I want to move it to where overdue tasks are, and overdue tasks naturally would go to the left. So let's give that a try. And there you have it. So you could arrange it any way you like, just so you could make sense of your project and how things are going. And again, you could see messages. You can receive messages just for this project. So in some cases, you might have members just for this project and not for other projects. You could find the messages that they send to you right here for this particular project. So that's all we have for this overview on Asana: the dashboard, the user interface, the project and task settings, how to invite team members for collaboration, and a walkthrough of some of the features.